Okay, let's unpack this. In a world where we're, constantly bombarded with information, it's easy to feel overwhelmed rather than truly well-informed. Our mission here at the Deep Dive is, well, to give you that shortcut. Today, we're taking a deep dive into the strategic vision of a truly significant Indian company, ITC. What's so fascinating is that their story offers surprising insights, not just into their own future, but into the broader landscape of global challenges and India's remarkable economic ascent.
Exactly. And what's fascinating here is how this single address, specifically excerpts from the chairman's speech at the 114th Annual General Meeting of ITC, dated July 25, 2025, gives us this unique window into so many interconnected themes. Our mission for you today is really to extract the key insights on how a large, diversified Indian enterprise is navigating, well, unprecedented change, focusing on its strategic pillars and its broader societal impact.
That's a great setup. And here's where it gets really interesting. The chairman opens by highlighting India's growing global stature, right? He cites Operation Sindoor as an example of the nation's firm resolve in countering terrorism. What he emphasizes, though, is how this aligns with India's transformation into a significant global player in manufacturing indigenous high-tech defense systems. This, he argues, is a powerful testament to the vision of Make in India and Atmanirbhar Bharat, self-reliant India, leading to the country's emergence as an economic, strategic, and technological powerhouse.
Right. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, you see India's unique position amidst what the chairman describes as an era of unprecedented change. He characterizes it using the acronym TURN, turbulence, uncertainty, and rapid change. This includes everything from geopolitical conflicts and geoeconomic fragmentation to trade policy shifts and the accelerating climate crisis. Yet, it's in this very turbulent environment that India demonstrates an extraordinary ascent. It's now the fastest growing major economy and the world's fourth largest. What's truly insightful is how ITC sees these, well, unparalleled opportunities arising from this context, driven by visionary government policies, a youthful population, increasing disposable incomes, rapid urbanization, widespread digital adoption, and a really vibrant entrepreneurial spirit. It isn't just about surviving change, it's about thriving within it.
And ITC's core philosophy seems to align perfectly with this national ambition. The chairman states it as nation first, Sab Saath Badhein, which translates to everyone progresses together. It's essentially a commitment, isn't it? Placing the country before the corporation and the institution ahead of the individual. But how does a sprawling enterprise like ITC actually operationalize such a broad, deeply patriotic credo across its diverse businesses?
That's an excellent question because it's definitely not just rhetoric. This credo finds, tangible expression across so many dimensions of ITC's operations. They focus on creating world-class Indian brands that critically anchor local value chains. That directly generates large-scale livelihoods right here in India. Over 90% of their value addition happens within the country, which is a significant boost to the domestic economy. They've built 40 state-of-the-art manufacturing assets that support an ecosystem of 250 factories and 7,500 MSMEs, that's micro, small, and medium enterprises, fostering local entrepreneurship. Their deep engagement in agriculture empowers millions of farmers. Plus, their Life Sciences and Technology Center, or LSTC, has filed over 800 patents, enhancing the nation's intellectual capital. And pretty impressively, their social investment initiatives have expanded to over 300 districts across 24 states, supporting nearly 9 million livelihoods. It's an integrated model where business growth is directly tied to national development and community upliftment.
That's an incredible breadth of impact. So building on that strategic vision, let's explore how ITC is actually evolving its business portfolio. One of the biggest headlines for 2024-25 was the demerger of their hotels business into ITC Hotels Limited, effective January 1, 2025. And apparently, in the 9 months leading up to that, the hotels business actually posted its highest ever revenue and operating profits. What does this demerger signify for a company as diversified as ITC?
Well, this demerger is a core part of what they call the ITC Next strategy, which envisions a future-ready portfolio through both organic and inorganic growth. The key insight here is how ITC is actively, sort of, shedding assets to unlock specialized value. For the hotels business, it allows for a sharper focus, potentially attracting investors keen on the hospitality sector specifically, and it signals a dynamic approach to portfolio management, even for a large conglomerate like this. You see this also in ITC Infotech's acquisition of BlazeClan Technologies Private Limited, aimed at deepening its multi-cloud capabilities. It's all about strategically positioning for future growth, often by allowing specific business units more autonomy and direct market appeal.
Okay. Speaking of new growth vectors, I was fascinated by their rapidly growing food tech business. This really leverages ITC's strengths across its foods and hotels divisions and their digital capabilities, doesn't it? Tapping into that fast-growing online food services segment, they offer a diverse range of cuisines under four distinct brands: ITC MasterChef Creations, ITC Ashirvad Soul Creations, ITC Sunfeast Baked Creations, and Sancho by ITC MasterChef. This business has seen explosive growth, what was it, a little less than 8% CIGR in 3 years, and it's already scaled up to 60 cloud kitchens across 5 cities, with plans for progressive introduction across India. That's a significant leap.
It truly is. And this expansion isn't just confined to food tech either. ITC has invested in 8 world-class manufacturing facilities recently, and they plan to invest another Rs 20,000 crores across businesses in the medium term. Which this raises an important question. How does a company achieve such ambitious growth targets while simultaneously pursuing equally ambitious sustainability goals? ITC has been a global outlier for nearly 2 decades, being the only company in the world apparently to be carbon positive, water positive, and solid waste recycling positive. They currently source over half of their energy from renewable sources and have been plastic neutral for 4 years. And building on that foundation, they've now committed to achieving net zero operations by 2050. That entails reducing over 85% of their emissions in the next 25 years, even as their business footprint continues to expand. It shows a deep-seated belief, I think, that growth and sustainability are not mutually exclusive.
That's quite the commitment to the planet. Now let's dig deeper into the first key pillar of the ITC Next strategy: building a future-ready portfolio, specifically in the fast-evolving FMCG sector, fast-moving consumer goods. The chairman paints a pretty compelling picture of India's consumer market on the cusp of a profound transformation. Per capita incomes expected to exceed $4,000 by 2030. He notes that Gen Z will account for every second rupee spent by 2035. And Gen Alpha, growing up in a hyper-digital, socially conscious, AI-integrated world, they're also a distinctive cohort. So what do these evolving consumers seek, and how is ITC positioning itself to meet those demands?
Well, they're observing that these consumers are increasingly seeking premium products, varied experiences, purpose-driven brands, greater personalization, and seamless omni-channel engagements. ITC's core strategy here seems to be establishing strong Indian brands in far first, meaning across India's diverse demographic and geographic landscape, before expanding globally. Their FMCG portfolio already accounts for an annual consumer spend of over Rs 34,000 crores. That's huge, reaching over 260 million households in India, and it's gaining consumer traction in over 70 international markets. Last year alone, they launched over 100 new differentiated products anchored on key themes like health and nutrition, hygiene, naturals, protection and care, convenience, and on the go. The insight here, I think, is that they're building deep local relevance before attempting global scale.
And they're doing this through a strategic mix of organic growth and some pretty smart acquisitions, it seems. Could you give us some specific examples of how they're building out their good-for-you portfolio and targeting these new consumer segments?
Absolutely. They're meticulously building their good-for-you portfolio to help India eat better, as they put it, augmenting it with acquisitions like Yoga Bar, known for its healthy snacks, and the popular 24 Mantra organic brand. This 24 Mantra line has over 100 products, a promising footprint in the U.S., and an impressive vertically integrated supply chain spread across, 140,000 acres of certified organic land? And in a first-to-market move, they introduced the Right Shift brand for consumers in the 40-plus age group, leveraging clinically proven natural ingredients and proprietary formulations developed right at their LSTC. And for those seeking new therapeutic experiences, they launched Prana, a range of incense sticks, cones, and scented candles built on earth-inspired aromatherapy. It's a very holistic approach to well-being.
That attention to detail is remarkable. What about their expansion into the frozen food segment and other specialized areas?
Yeah, their frozen food segment under the ITC MasterChef brand already offers over 80 Indian and Western snacks. They're fortifying this category with the acquisition of Prosuma, which has developed over 170 pan-Asian frozen product options across more than 100 cities, catering, to the growing need for quality and convenience for nuclear families. They've also acquired Mother Sparsh, a frontrunner in premium Ayurvedic baby care, targeting a significant and, frankly, underpenetrated segment in India. The key insight here is that these strategic acquisitions are carefully structured. They aim to gain from the entrepreneurial zeal and sort of startup mindset of the founders, while simultaneously leveraging ITC's immense institutional strengths in R&D, manufacturing, and distribution. It's a powerful combination of agility and scale.
Right. And they're also sharpening their focus on premiumization and value-added adjacencies across their existing brands. What are some of those standout examples?
Oh, you see it everywhere. Think Fiamma's premium moisturizing bars infused with Japanese Hokkaido milk, or the super premium cookies under Sunfeast Baked Creations, specifically tailored for quick commerce delivery. Then there's Mango Deep Scent's perfume-like dry dupe sticks, kind of elevating a traditional product, and Ashirvad Besan, which offers a unique lump-free batter, specially made with Kana dal from specific regions. Each example demonstrates a keen understanding of consumer desires for convenience, quality, and maybe a touch of luxury.
So what ties all this together then? What are the underlying enterprise strengths supporting this incredibly diverse and future-ready portfolio?
It really comes down to powerful synergies. They've established a robust digital superstructure that leverages artificial intelligence and generative AI for deep insighting and hyper-personalized marketing. ITC LSTC stands out as a top innovator with specialized research platforms for consumer and sensory sciences, health and wellness, hygiene, and sustainable materials and packaging. Their deep agricultural expertise empowers farmers to produce the buy for high-quality, traceable agri-commodities, basically creating a pull mechanism. They have state-of-the-art manufacturing units for rapid scale-up and a smart omni-channel trade marketing and distribution highway that serves diverse geographies and product types. The overall insight is that this isn't just a collection of disparate businesses. It's a tightly integrated ecosystem where each strength amplifies the others, creating a powerful flywheel effect for growth.
Okay, shifting gears a bit, let's talk about the second key pillar of the ITC Next strategy. Building anti-fragile supply chains and systematically addressing climate challenges. In their paperboards and packaging business, for instance, they're navigating headwinds like low-priced imports and surging wood prices. Yet, the chairman points to enormous potential due to India's low per capita consumption and 6-7% demand growth, which will require significant additional capacity in the coming decade. How are they approaching this dual challenge of resilience and growth?
Well, ITC is a market leader in value-added paperboards, and they derive a significant competitive advantage from their integrated business model. Their pioneering afforestation program, for example, has already greened over 1.3 million acres, supporting 240 million person-days of livelihoods and sequestering 6.4 million tons of CO2 annually. This isn't just good for the environment, it's a strategic source of raw material for them. And in a smart move, they recently acquired Century Pulp and Paper. This significantly enhances their capacity more cost-efficiently than building a brand new facility, offers a strategic locational advantage, and is expected to improve earnings per share in the first year, with a targeted 30–40% increase in profit per ton after 2 years. It's a clear example of how they're building resilience through vertical integration and strategic acquisitions.
That makes perfect sense. And are they pursuing new growth vectors in sustainable packaging? That's such a critical area right now.
Absolutely. Their LSTC Center of Excellence in Material Sciences is right at the forefront there. Developing recyclable or compostable materials and patented barrier coatings like their Philo and BioSeal series, which have seen really rapid growth, more than doubling in size since FY22. They've also launched the Fiba brand, producing complex, engineered, high-quality molded fiber products made from renewable natural raw materials, manufactured right in Madhya Pradesh. This shows how their R&D is directly translating into market-ready, sustainable solutions.
Now let's pivot to anchoring next-gen agriculture, which the chairman rightly calls the lifeline of the economy, with immense untapped potential. Given ITC's deep roots here, how are they evolving their agricultural engagement?
Well, ITC is already one of the largest procurers of agri-commodities in the country, supporting over 20 agri-value chains and sourcing over 3.5 million tons from 22 states. But they're not just procuring, they're innovating across 3 horizons.
Okay, tell us about those horizons.
So their Horizon 2 initiatives focus on value-added agri-products. These have seen double-digit growth in the last 5 years, covering categories like spices, coffee, horticulture, and aqua products. What's more, Technico, an ITC subsidiary, is now the world's largest pre-basic potato seed producer, and is actively collaborating with 15 global breeders on climate-resilient varieties. This is about building a more robust and adaptive agricultural base.
And Horizon 3, that sounds even more futuristic.
Horizon 3 initiatives are truly innovative, yeah. They're developing future vectors like biological extracts and ITCMRs. For instance, they've invested in medicinal and aromatic plants like ashwagandha and turmeric on a 100-acre farm in Madhya Pradesh, with cultivation spanning 4,000 acres, providing high-quality ingredients for nutraceutical and cosmetics industries. Plus, ITC Innovation Limited is manufacturing and exporting pharmacopoeia standard nicotine products. Then there's the ITCMR's Phygital ecosystem, that blend of physical and digital. It's evolved into a dynamic full-stack solution for farmers. empowering over 2,050 farmer-producer organizations, or FPOs, and 2.2 million farmers across 11 states. It provides AI-enabled hyperlocal crop advisories, image-led diagnostics, access to credit and inputs like biologicals and drones, and crucial market linkages. They even have the drone DD's model for farming as a service. The impact is significant. 15–20% crop yield increases and 25–30% farmer net returns increase. They even participated in the government's Operation Dronagiri initiative. The insight here is that they are not just engaging with agriculture. They are fundamentally transforming it through technology and a very holistic, farmer-centric approach.
That's a powerful illustration of how technology and scale can uplift entire communities. And speaking of transformations, they're also squarely addressing what the chairman calls the largest challenge of the century: climate change. He notes that 2024 was the first year to consistently surpass the 1.5 degrees C threshold, and India experienced extreme weather events on 322 days in 2024. With 76% of its population exposed to high heat risk, this clearly impacts food security and livelihoods, emphasizing an urgent need for adaptation. What are their concrete steps here?
Well, to address this, ITC has made adaptation a supercritical area. They've carried out a comprehensive climate risk modeling exercise across 140 sites and their agri-value chains, using AI-enabled tools to forecast impacts and devise site-specific plans. This is proactive adaptation on a massive scale. They've also spearheaded a large-scale climate-smart agriculture program spanning over 3.1 million acres, covering 100 districts in 19 states, and benefiting over 1.2 million farmers. There's a commitment to expand this to over 4 million acres by 2030, which will lead to greater resilience, higher productivity, and enhanced farmer incomes. It's a really systemic approach to building resilience into the very fabric of their operations and supply chains.
Their water security initiatives are just as impressive, aren't they?
Indeed. All their prioritized vulnerable water stress sites have received Alliance for Water Stewardship, or AWS, Platinum certification, which is a global benchmark. They're actively restoring river basins, 4 already water positive, 1 more on the anvil, and implementing measures in urban catchments. In agriculture, their rainwater harvesting covers over 1.8 million acres, and demand-side efforts are saving an estimated 1,400 million kiloliters annually across 15 crops. This results in freshwater potential 5 times its consumption. This isn't just about compliance, it's about regenerative practices at scale.
And beyond water and carbon, what about biodiversity?
ITC also has a large-scale biodiversity conservation initiative covering 640,000 acres, with ambitious plans to enlarge it to 1 million acres by 2030. It's a holistic environmental strategy that goes beyond just carbon.
Beyond the sheer business strategy and environmental commitment, it's clear ITC has a deep commitment to building the long-term resilience of rural communities. Through livelihood creation and future-ready capabilities, it really shows a fundamental belief in integrated growth. Can you elaborate on their social initiatives?
Right. They view their corporate social responsibility programs through a 2-horizon approach. Horizon 1 focuses on strengthening current livelihoods and food security, while Horizon 2 builds future capabilities through education, skilling, healthcare, and women empowerment. And what's fascinating here is how these numbers translate into real-world change for millions of lives. 6 million women reached, 2.8 million children educated, 120,000 youth trained, and 700,000 healthcare engagements. They emphasize the importance of partnerships, having forged over 95 public-private people partnerships. The chairman's belief is clear. Enterprises exist to serve both an economic and social purpose. This isn't just charity, it's about building a sustainable societal base that benefits everyone.
And to wrap up this segment, the chairman views inspired talent as a company's most enduring asset. He asserts that it's this powerhouse of diverse people that fuels innovation, drives transformation, and anchors resilience in times of change, truly being the bedrock of our progress. How crucial is this human element to everything else we've discussed today?
Oh, it's absolutely foundational. All the strategic shifts, the technological advancements, the sustainability commitments, they all hinge on a skilled, motivated, and aligned workforce. The insight here is that in an era of rapid change, the ability to cultivate and empower human capital isn't just a nice-to-have, it's a strategic imperative. It directly impacts a company's ability to innovate, adapt, and execute on its ambitious vision. Without that inspired talent, even the best strategies remain just plans on paper, really.
So, what does this all mean for you as you navigate a world of constant change? This deep dive into a single corporate address has revealed so much, not just about a major company's strategic innovations, its pivot towards new growth areas, and its deep seated environmental and social commitments, but also about India's economic landscape and its evolving role amidst global challenges. It really shows how one entity can serve as a kind of microcosm for broader national and global shifts.
Right. And this raises an important question, perhaps for you to consider. How might the success and resilience of diversified multi-sector enterprises like ITC, with their vast ecosystems and their clear commitments to social and environmental good, fundamentally redefine the blueprint for national economic development and corporate responsibility in the turbulent decades ahead?